Let's come back to a bottle that is a favorite among many, and a bottle that is a really great value. We're going to review Old Grandad 114. So this is a bottle that I have had before and have reviewed before, but it's been quite some time. It's also a bottle that is not everywhere. Not every liquor store by me carries this. I don't know how it is in other places, but you can't walk into every liquor store and see this. You can walk into most liquor stores by me and see its two other siblings, the Old Grandad 80 proof. I think a few years ago that used to be, or more than a few years ago, used to be 86 proof, but it's 80 proof. And one that may be just as popular as this one, maybe even more, and that's the Old Grandad Bonded. Now, the Old Grandad Bonded I'm talking about is the one that's not age stated, that's been around forever. That one, I think, of any of them, I think, I'd say both the 80 proof and the 100 proof Bonded, I see in, I'd say, at least most liquor stores. This one is not in every store. It's only in a few. I happened to one time see it in Total Wine, and I saw this in another store. So every now and then when I do see it, I grab it. And just as a side note, as many of you have seen, and many of you even have, this line just expanded with two extra bottles. Last year, which I still haven't seen, and then the one time I see it was unbelievably crazy price. The Old Grandad, the 16-year, I saw it was like $200-something when I saw it. That's not happening. If I ever see it and it's a lower price, we'll look at it. But for now, that ship sailed. The other one that I am waiting to see and ready to purchase, assuming it's at a normal price, which I think it should be, is the Old Grandad Bonded 7-year. So that's the Bonded 100 proof, but it's 7-year. Just for comparison, this is non-age stated at the 114, but I'm assuming it's probably the same amount of years as the Bonded, that being approximately 4 years. They say it has to be aged aged at least 4 years. By definition, the Bonded has to be aged at least 4 years. I can't speak for this because this isn't Bonded. I would have to think it's a similar age, just my own guess. So the deal is this one is a bottle that I like. I wouldn't say I love, but I like. A lot of people do love this, and a lot of people, very, very popular among a lot of people. It's also a bottle that kind of like sits on the shelf a lot. You know, a lot of people, I've heard people say, it's one of these bottles that's just not that pretty, and I think it's a nice bottle. I love the cork, really thick cork. It's a nice looking bottle, and I think it's just, it's almost like a cult favorite, like one of those that there's just a lot of people that really love this. So when I see it, I always try to grab one if I don't have one already. So the deal with this, it shares the mash bill of the other Old Grandads. I can't speak for the 7-year. I'm assuming it's the same mash bill. But I will find that out if and when I see that bottle. The mash bill is a high rye mash bill from Basil Hayden, which produces this. 63% corn, 27% rye, 10% malted barley. That's a fairly high rye percentage in it. And so what I have said when I've done these reviews in the past, whether I think this is good or great, and I'm still in the good category, this is an excellent value. Because this here is about $30 by me. And if you take the Bonded, not the 7-year, I think that's about $40. So that's what it's supposed to be. We'll see what it is when it ends up in New Jersey, if it ever does. But the price of the Bonded, I think it's like, in the mid-20s, and probably the 80 proofs even less than that. If you realize this, now, Basil Hayden, the regular Basil Hayden gets a lot of hate. I'm not thrilled with it either, but it's the same mash. This is the same mash bill as Basil Hayden. We'll call them cousins, both produced by Jim Beam. But this one here is, you can have a higher proof. Basil Hayden is 80 proof, and it's like in the 40s. And this is 114 proof, and it's around 30. It's an unbelievable value. If you take the Bonded is like half the price of the Basil Hayden. I just think that, this is better. I know this is better. We're going to revisit it now. But just Basil Hayden, just price-wise, for the 80 proof just makes no sense to me. This being the same mash bill and its sibling at a much lower price, this one being 114 proof versus 80, I don't know how you can go wrong with that. So let's crack this open, revisit it, see what we think now. And now for what I recall to be one of the best cork pops of any bottle. Amazing. Okay, so we have this poured up. I knew in advance that was going to be a great cork pop. This has even the cork itself is great. It's a big, thick cork. And every time I've had this bottle, and I've spit a few of them, this cork pop is just, this is one of the best. So It's all poured up. I can see as I'm pouring it, and I also recall this I found to be a rather thick, viscous bourbon in the way it feels and the taste. And just before I start, I do know the reason why I say it's good, but I don't get to the great categories because I'm not a huge rye person. I've become much more of that. I've had some rye whiskeys. I've had a lot more high rye bourbons. There are some rye bourbons that drink more pronounced with the rye, and others less. Even at the same high rye mash bill, some are more pronounced with the rye, some are less. This is pronounced, I feel, with the rye. And so that's probably the only reason why I don't get to the great category. But we'll see. Maybe this has changed. So, beautiful color. Let's give this a nose. You can it's just a lot of that, that baking spice type caramel, cinnamon. That's really prominent in this. And I'm sure will be in the mouthfeel. Cheers. I think I like it actually better this time. It's very, I find this to be one of the thicker bourbons. It definitely leaves legs on the glass. It's definitely a bold, hearty 114. Now, I will say that this was quite some time ago on TikTok, because I have reviewed this much earlier on TikTok, but I recall doing a blind. I'd have to search back in my videos, but I did do a blind of this and the, or a comparison. I'm not sure if it was a blind between this and the bonded. I believe it or not, I thought at the time, maybe the proof level sat better with me, but I thought the bonded I might have even liked better. But this one, I mean, just this proof for the price. I mean, there's only a few bottles that I have to say with this proof level or higher, which are great values, and this is one of them. Another one that strikes me, which is completely different than this, is the Benchmark Full Proof 125 proof for like $23. This one is a few dollars more, but this is a really, really good value as well. So I would say that I'm liking this even better than I remember last time. Each time I've had this, I would say that I've had either 3 or 4 of these bottles over my entire bourbon career or the time I've been doing this. I think each time I've liked it better. My palate's also changed to higher rye bourbon, so I would say at this point, I would say I like this the best of the times that I've had it. Yeah, I do. This is a cinnamon, caramel, vanilla, baking spice bomb. That's really what this is, and the finish is great. I mean, I just don't get. I mean, and if anyone is a Basil Hayden fan, I don't mean to, insult anyone's taste. There is no right or wrong, but just my opinion. I know a lot of people feel this way, but everybody's opinion is different and just as valid as anyone else. There's no right or wrong here. But to me, I just don't get why buy a bottle of Basil Hayden for $40-something for 80 proof when you're getting the same mash bill here, and it's the same brand, the same mash bill, same juice. Maybe the age is slightly different. I don't think it is by much, and it's just such a better value. It's just such a better value. This Old Grandad bonded, the regular bonded, certainly the 80 proof, and we'll see what the 7-year is when it ends up in New Jersey. As soon as that ends up in New Jersey, I'll be all over it. I will probably get a bottle of the regular bonded, compare with this. So we'll keep this around, hoping the 7-year shows up soon. Cheers. Take care.